Welcome to Caching Waves. This is an Elliott Wave update for Bitcoin. Now, since last video, I entered this trade up at the high at the end of this diagonal. If you remember, if you haven't watch that previous video if you want to see how I did that. But last night, I fell asleep here. I was hoping for some sideways consolidation as an X wave and continuation to the downside to our targets. But you can see I woke up to a wave to the upside. Still in this trade, what I ended up doing is what I mentioned in the video is just rode this wave down and move my stop to the 66% retracement, which is right here on this green line. We'll see if that holds, but I might get stopped out here and have to flip positions to a new one. But I just wanted to get this video to talk about the smaller time frames because I am leaving in about an hour. I'm going to Toronto with the girlfriend. We have Toronto Maple Leafs tickets tonight, and we're going to check out the CN Tower and whatnot, so it should be a fun night. But I won't be back posting a video till Saturday, so I wanted to at least give you guys what I would be looking for if I were looking to trade this. Now, let's go to TradingView here. This was my primary count that we finished our fourth wave on a larger degree. If you want to see my larger degree counts, just go to my last Bitcoin video from 2 days ago. But this one's just the smaller time frames. So to keep this count intact, we need to hold this fourth wave at 57,493.30 and looking for this to be a 1-2-1-2. Now, my trade that I took here was to come down to our standard wave 2 area for Fibonacci retracements, which is between the 50% retracement of this second wave 1 and the 786. Might still get that, but there is the option, which I also mentioned in the video, that if we are extremely bullish, this is what I drew from last video, we might just get a running flat, which is a 3-wave move down to the 382 is the most common area for that. Get our 3-wave move that breaks the wave 1 and then a move back, our matching leg, then we take off. So this is one I am considering if we break this wave 1 high. This is if we do that, right? We can still just come down here, just more corrective, more complex. And what that would look like is this is clearly a 3-wave move, ABC. So this would be our W wave in a complex correction. This doesn't quite look done yet. We did take the liquidity on the top side here. So there is a chance we just reverse. We'll talk about the structure in a minute, but we can get an X wave here and then another 3-wave move to actually come down to my zone. It would just be a combination double zigzag, most likely, ABCX, ABC. Throw in your base channel, try and get the bottom end of that. So I'm going to let my trade run. That's what I would be, excuse me, looking for to continue down to this area. I don't think we're going to get a huge buy up today. This doesn't look impulsive at the moment. You're hanging on by a thread. This would have to be like a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, and you're talking extreme launch. We're coming into the weekend as well after tomorrow, so I don't necessarily think that is happening. But one thing for the bulls, I'm just trying to think, is there any way this is actually complete? And there is. It's just low probability, right? Could be 1-2, 1-2. What I would personally be looking for down on the hourly here would be probably a diagonal. And it would be looking like this. And then you get that would be your 1-2. But these structures are very difficult just to take the long stop at this low. And reason being is diagonals mimic WXYs, which is ABC. This comes down like this. This becomes your X. You get an ABC. And it becomes a WXY, right? And then you get your other 3-wave move down. So they're very difficult. But what I do in those situations, this is just a little bit of help if you're looking to take that trade, because I will not be here to show that, is if you get an ABC after the diagonal. Again, it has to be after the completed pattern. Get a nice ABC sideways, and it's starting to recover. What I like to do in those situations, because they mimic each other exactly as a correction or a diagonal, is I wait for the correction to complete and I wait for the impulse to start. I buy the breakout of the B wave of the smaller correction, and then stop can go at this low. That's a pretty safe way to do it. And that way, if this is just an A wave, once you get the move above, you can start moving your stop up, right? And you shouldn't lose money on that. And then this opens up the possibility to our larger flat we discussed right here from last video, right? So this would be more like a scalp, and also leaving the option that this can be a 1-2, and we do keep continuing to the upside, right? Because you have to take both scenarios into account. You can't assume this is going to happen. You have to take the chance that this can happen as well, right? The actual big move everybody's looking for. So that's how I would be looking in this situation here. Now, I'd be getting too complicated if I go in how I'd take this short. I'll leave that for now. That's a scalping scenario. But what I would be looking for is this, and then the pullback, buy the breakout, stop at this low. Not financial advice, just what I would be doing if I was sitting at the computer trading this. And if this somehow does end up absolutely exploding to the upside, invalidation of the B wave, where we can get that flat scenario, is the pull from our ABC down, put on the 1.236382 and the 1.618. Our area we would expect our B wave to come is right between this zone here, 70,564, 71,219. That's where we would expect that C wave, but invalidation of that is, this 1.618, which is at 72,289. This might change based on whatever exchange you're on, so you'll have to pull those fibs yourself, but that would be the invalidation where if I decided to wait, I would consider buying in above that level and finding what the count is here for my stop, what makes the most sense. But that's how I would play every scenario there. Yeah. We'll see, though. I'd like to see a little more time here. I would obviously prefer, since I'm in the short, just to move up, get our X wave here, or come down, extend out, get a larger X wave, and then get that Y wave back. That would be the ideal scenario to me. It has the right look. So we want just a slightly smaller wave than the first one too. But if I get stopped out on Saturday, on the weekend, I would be looking for that C wave as that running flat scenario I discussed. But that's kind of the only thing we need to discuss at the moment. I do have like 4 counts. Obviously, I've been tracking here. This one is one that would also make sense for us to just move right now, and that would be the larger term diagonal, where we come up to all-time highs, get a retracement back in our 5th wave to the upside. But that was in my previous video. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to watch that one. I go over everything, all the scenarios in the larger count, but I hope that helps for the current next day or two, what I'd be looking for. So pay attention to those shapes. Be careful with your stops. I'm just letting this trade run out, and I won't be in a trade till I get back from the Toronto. So that's it for this one. Go Leafs go. I hope they win. Unfortunately, I am a Leafs fan, was raised that way. Unfortunately, a lot of heartbreak over the years. And it would be fun to go and they win the game. Nothing sucks more than going to a sporting event and your team loses, right? So hopefully they win. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.